Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Aluminum Tarot. It's a pleasure to have you here. We're going to do some readings for the month of March. We're working on the reading for Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising. And for some reason, I just felt like stopping. I wanted to kind of gather my bearings a bit, kind of understand exactly what was coming, to my forefront of my mind, basically. For me, it just felt like there was just kind of a bit of a nasty kind of feels like Mercury retrograde kind of energy. So I had to give myself a little bit of time to kind of clear my brain and get back into the reading once I felt a bit more refreshed. I'm just going to start from the top. If you like what you see here, please be sure to give a like, share, subscribe, ding the notification bell so that you don't miss any updates from future postings. And basically what I'll be doing right now, pulling cards from the Moonology, and then after that using the two decks here, including a new player in the game. We have the Art Nouveau Tarot mini deck. So I pulled 3 cards for Pisces, and ironically it was a new moon for each of these 3 signs. So we have Aquarius, Sagittarius, and then the new moon. So looking at this, it says bring love into the situation, new moon in Aquarius. Luck is on your side, new moon in Sagittarius, and a new start is coming, which is the new moon. So all 3 of these cards are new moon cards. And ironically, for the sign of Pisces, there was a new moon. And this took place around February 27th, which, if I'm not mistaken, was a new moon in Pisces, which is now retrograding into Aries. And so what this kind of tells us is that this is a period where we're going to be able to clear away a lot of the stuff from the past that we can now move into in the near future. So if you're a Pisces who has, started a new journey, started a new aspect of your life, or maybe even moved or, launched a new venture or even like a new job, whatnot, this is probably your reading. So that said, we're looking into this a bit further. When we see bring love into the situation, this is about, I feel, self-love or love of your fellow man or woman, whatever. But we're looking into a situation where we are now understanding our relationship to other things, other people, and we're learning how to do this in a way that is mature, it is viable, and additionally, it is reciprocal. And this is going to be important moving forward, so that way you can have the best success out of your new life adventure. Speaking of adventure, we have luck is on your side. So it means that whatever you've decided to undertake in this new moon, which new moons signal new kind of energies coming into the forefront, with luck is on your side, basically what we notice here is that as you begin to do this, when you start to love yourself, when you start to actually, emanate an aura of self-love as well as love for fellow man, you're going to be able to experience and open up the gateways to abundance that will help you to essentially give more and receive more from, the universe. So the universe typically reflects how we feel within ourselves. If we feel like we have a lack mindset, we will experience lack. But when we have an abundance mindset, we will experience more abundance. We then also see a new start is coming. And this also implies, the newness of, the phase of your life that you're undertaking right now, which I think is going to be quite geared towards, again, launching new businesses, moving to new places, starting new jobs, anything that would kind of embody that Aries energy that we'll be moving into, after the 21st of March. As we are coming closer to spring, we do, enter like a lion and out like a lamb, if I'm not mistaken. That's the expression that people use for that. Let's go ahead. We'll start with the first bit of the reading. So Pisces, let's get started. Show me what's happening for Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising for the month, well, from this time until a month later in March. Show me what's taking place for Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising from now until a month later. Show me what's happening for Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising from now until a month later. One more. All right. Let's do it, Pisces. Current energy of Pisces. And as we said before, recent past, okay, near future, all right, is that the core? Is that the crown? That's your card. And what is the ultimate outcome for this period in question? Clarify. Okay, so what we have here is the Tower in the reverse underneath the deck, meaning that you are trying to avoid a disastrous situation. Maybe your finances became a bit more burdensome to deal with. Maybe you were in a relationship that was not really working out, or relationships that basically led to the conclusion of this particular cycle of your life. So what we notice here is that we have a person who is undergoing a significant movement forward. You have both the Six of Swords and the Chariot taking place for this particular reading. And the challenge to this is the challenge. It's the Wheel of Fortune reverse. So in the recent past, you felt it was very difficult for you to manifest a new start and a new beginning in your life. And what you are now realizing that you must do in order to make this step move to the next phase, or to make your actions move to the next phase, is overcome this feeling of stuckness that has pervaded your life for quite some time. Because the Wheel of Fortune is card number 10. And what that does is that normally comes after a period of introspection, which normally takes place with the Hermit, which is card number 9. And 9 is normally the card of wrapping cycles up and getting introspective about your life. After that period happens, then you can move forward and then start to change your life direction, which is, it's one of the reasons why it's important to have the ability to self-reflect before taking the next steps in something new. So for example, if you're in a relationship, you break up, and then instead of jumping into a new relationship, which is what so many people do, it's important for you to take a step back and become introspective, learn from that situation, so that way you can move forward and be, I guess, a bit more successful rather than repeating the mistakes of the past. And that's basically what you're doing now. In order for you to move forward, the Six of Swords, you have probably moved abroad, which the Six of Swords normally talks about moving from a difficult place into a much better place over a body of water, typically. And with the Chariot here, that needs no introduction. The Chariot is about fast forward motion and movement from one phase of your life and the familiar into uncharted territory, which then leads to strength, which you have here, and then onward into the Hermit, and then into the Wheel of Fortune. So from 7 to 10. We are then looking at the past. The Sun was in the reverse. Clarify the Sun, the World. So that's another card of long distance travel. Things were not very clear as to what was going to take place in your life. when that cycle from the past was closing out. What was the cycle related to? It was a period of intense hopelessness and a period of not knowing exactly where you were going to be. The star is typically a guiding star, like a North Star. And without that, you can feel hopeless or rudderless in many ways, in which you feel, hey, life isn't really moving in the way that I really want it to go into. It can feel like it's really hard for you to heal from the past. Maybe you've, experienced either losses or closing out of cycles with people that you were familiar with. And so for you, what you're now doing is you're ending this cycle, this repeat cycle of difficulty, pain, heartache, and additionally, confusion, which is indicative of the sun. What we have here also, moving forward, we have the Fool. And the Fool card is a very good card to have after a period of stagnation. So the Fool is number 0. And what it tells us is that we are taking the leap of faith forward. And we do see that faith here noted in the Hierophant a bit later on. But with the Fool, it is important for us to note that you have to let go of everything from the past that you have known. The Fool is card number 0 because he is the beginning of a new cycle. After going through all of the cards of the major arcana, the Fool then restarts everything again. So you're going from the world to the Fool. Card number 21, if I'm not mistaken, to card number 0, right back again. So that is indicating here that you have ended a cycle, you are completing a new cycle, you are stepping into a new skin, a new way of being. It's almost like a reincarnation for you. And I think this is a very positive one that is going to lead to a lot of abundance and opportunity for you. This is a very good reading that I do see here. And I'll clarify just a little bit. Just a little bit. Now, one of the things we can talk about as I'm doing this is that a lot of times people will take a leap forward to kind of completely throw out what they have known. And this gives them what we call like a tabula rasa period in their life, where they're able to completely reinvent themselves. Now, what did I say? Something told me to use this deck. I've clarified the Fool with the Fool. You're undergoing a major transformation, which is allowing you to take a massive leap forward into the unknown. Now, when cards clarify themselves like that, there are 78 cards in one deck. 78 times 2, that is approximately 156. Out of 156 cards, you got the same card twice in your future, indicating to the universe, I meant what I said. So there you have it. The power of the tarot continues to shine on. What I can see here, that underneath all of this, we have the Two of Swords. So of course, you want to make a rational decision in everything that you do and everything that you want to become in this new phase of your life. But you may have some fears, doubts, and reservations. So you're indicating a lot of your energy. So you may have some air in your chart, but you are showing up in your card for what is known, the Hangman. You're trying to get a new perspective on your life. And what you know consciously is that you're being forced into an uncomfortable situation, which is newness, where the Pisces typically reflects on the past and tries to create reality based on their imagination, which can then lead to delusion. You're now being chucked out of your comfort zone and being forced into a place that will lead you to a greater sense of self, satisfaction. You could be potentially resisting that, or maybe you're trying to use this as a period to reflect and understand which way to go, to tap into your intuition. In both the Two of Swords and the Hangman, in both situations, you have normally in the Rider-Waite an initiate who is being forced to use their intuition to understand exactly what to do. And they do this by blocking out everything else. They have the swords that cross themselves. They have the moon indicated up here at the top, which shows that the intuition is being heightened in this period of stagnation, which is probably what you had to deal with recently. And that is then leading you to the Hangman, the greater perspective. So this is kind of like the minor arcana version of the major arcana card here. And by doing this, you are relieving yourselves of the toxic patterns that you may have experienced in the past, because after justice, you have the Hangman. Hangman is card number 12. Justice card is bringing things back into balance and receiving the karma from the past that you have incurred or encountered based on your actions. So if you received a period of negative karma, it's normally because, not because you're a bad person, but because we would say there are things that you need to learn in order to restore balance to your life. And I think that's the most important thing here. So with the Two of Swords, we can clarify this with the Four of Cups, and with the Hangman, we can clarify that with the Eight of Cups. So you have 4 and the 8 of Cups. There was a period in your life where you felt that you were afraid to miss out on an opportunity, or maybe you feel that you did miss out on certain opportunities that could have been very, important for you or viable for you. I've known a few Pisceans in my life who have experienced this. It's kind of like if you don't time things correctly, you know that you could potentially lose this opportunity to start a business, move abroad, to go into a new era of your life. And I think that for you, in order to avoid missing out on this, you had to definitely get in tune and in touch with your intuition. So you have the 4 and then the 8. So 12 of Cups is 1 plus 3 is the 3 of Cups. What you're trying to do is reunite with things from the past that you found to be anchoring for you or supportive for you emotionally. Maybe in this particular period in time, you don't really feel like you get the emotional support that you need. And in being in a new environment, you might be able to cultivate relationships which can help you to do that. Either past relationships where you had a good circle of friends around you, or potentially new relationships, which can then lead to this more fulfilling period in your life. With the 8 of Cups in the reverse, it was almost like you didn't want to let go of something. I don't know exactly what that was. Yeah. When we look at this, something told me to pull from this deck. 4 of Wands in the reverse usually indicates an unstable home life or no foundation within your current life. And this is important to note because what you want to make sure that you're doing is building a better foundation on something more solid. So this is kind of like mini tower energy right here. I'm getting the impression that you were stuck in a very toxic or very difficult home situation or home life. And it was difficult for you to walk away from this, but now you're being forced to do it with the Fool card coming out here twice. Looking towards the end of this, what we have here is the Strength card, and this is in the reverse. And then we have the Hierophant. You're learning lessons on how not to give up and how to persevere. And with the Hierophant is learning through tradition and the way things have been done for thousands of years, for sometimes culturally. But more so, I think what you're doing here is you're trying to unlock, your fullest potential. The Hierophant is normally a Pope figure, and that is seen as a figure that kind of, acts as a conduit between heaven and earth. And so what you're doing is you're trying to balance these two energies, these two forces, these two, environments in your life so that they are working with you and not against you. So in a period where you may have felt financial lack, or lack of romance or things of that nature, you are now learning what it's like to cultivate that back. You are learning how to be more grounded, more practical, more pragmatic. And this is going to in turn lead you to a bit of better, abundance in your life. And you'll also potentially think about the times in which you actually stressed yourself out to the point of pure exhaustion, because that's what the Strength card here reflects on. We can clarify the Strength card. Yeah, Ten of Swords. It was a period of time in your life where you had to get over a period of pure, not necessarily betrayal, but it's almost like when you get to the Ten of Swords, the only way is up. You have nothing but positivity to look forward to after that, because it's as bad as it gets. Ten of Swords can be a betrayal, but in this, what I don't really see that. I think it's just mental exhaustion to the point where it kind of leads to a breakdown, like a mental breakdown. That's what I kind of see here. You're moving away from that into the Hierophant. We can clarify the Hierophant here. And let's see. Yeah, back into that energy. What I see here is one of the lessons. The big lesson is that you have to know when certain ships are not coming in. You have to be able to be in tune with yourself so that you don't miss opportunities that can be really good for you. And this is being reflected also in this particular part where you have the Three of Wands in the reverse, which is about receiving ships that you know are coming in. Well, when you don't know if they're coming in or not, you have to use your intuition to kind of create a plan B, which is going to help you to lead yourself into something better than the things that you expect to happen in your life. And if you lead your life on these great expectations, like Charles Dickens, it's just going to, that can be the thing that actually leads to that mental exhaustion. You can't live in, it's best not to live your life in a period or a mentality where you feel entitled to certain outcomes. It's best to kind of be adaptable and move around them so that the Wheel of Fortune can turn once again. So that is what I'm getting for your reading for now until the month after. We could say it's for the month of March, but I just decided to start doing them here. I just recently got back from holiday, so I just wanted to kind of take a break, recharge, and rejuvenate. I was in south of Spain. Took a nice motorbike trip to Gibraltar, and came back. Now I'm getting back into the grind. But that is your reading, Pisces. It's a pleasure to read for you again. This is, again, Aluminum Tarot. If you like what you see here, please be sure to give a like, share, subscribe, ding the notification bell so that you don't miss any updates from future postings. And that's going to be it. Take care, everyone. Until next time, love and light.